Good day. How are you today? Today we're going to have a very short lesson on dividing by a decimal number. There are really two ways to approach dividing by a decimal number. The first way is we need to think about the fact that we don't like to divide by decimals. So we have to make both numbers, well, we have to make the divisor anyway, not a decimal. So one way to do it is simply to figure out how many decimal places we need that divisor, which of course is down here. Okay, how many decimal places do we need it to move? How much do we need to multiply by to make it not a decimal? So in this case, you really only need to move it over one place, which means we would multiply the top and the bottom by 10 over 10, which is of course that well-chosen 1. 10 over 10 is 1. So we're not really changing the value of the decimal. We are simply multiplying the numerator and the denominator by the same number so that it's easier to multiply and then divide. Now you can divide without a decimal. The second method, probably one that I've kind of adopted for myself because it's just kind of quick and easy, is to simply just move the decimal over in the divisor the number of places you need to so that it's no longer a decimal. But once you do it in here, it's just like any other thing. If you do it to one side, you have to do it to the other. If you do it at the top, you have to do it to the bottom. In this case, if you move this one over, you must move the one inside the dividend as well. So if I move the decimal place one place to the right here, I must move the decimal place one place to the right here, and then it moves up to the top, and this no longer is the decimal. So, not too bad. It's really not all that difficult to think about. But a person has to be sure that they're doing the problem the right way and be sure that you're multiplying both sides by the same number of decimal places or the same power of 10. These two methods help us to deal a lot with problems when it involves a currency like dollars and cents. For instance, if we had a problem like this, $3.35 divided by 5 cents basically is what it is. The two methods we would use, one would be this, okay, simply moving the decimal over two places to the right here, and then coming over here and moving the decimal place two places to the right there. This goes away, and we move our decimal up, and this becomes a new decimal place. Pretty easy, but this is the same as multiplying both sides by 100. So if this is confusing to you, here's another way to approach it. We know this needs to go two places to the right, which is the same as multiplying it times 100. So if we multiply the top and the bottom by the same, we end up with 335 over 5. Remember that this is that well-chosen 1. Okay? Doesn't change the value, just multiplies by the same. Now we're going to do one example problem. If we have $1.54, and we're going to divide it by 8 cents, okay, or 8/10 of a dollar. We can already see that we're dividing by a decimal, and to be able to divide we're going to have to move that decimal at least two places. So the two ways we could do it are here. If we want to use the fraction and multiply, we know this has to move two places, so we would simply take the top and the bottom times 100, which would give us 154 divided by 8. Okay, or we can use our second method over here, and the second method tells us that we would take the decimal and we would move it two places to the right. But if we do it here, we must do it over here too, so we'll move this one two places to the right. Here's your new decimal place, and there it is up above. And then you can go ahead, what you basically have then is 154 divided by 8. 8 goes into 15 once. That leaves you with 74. 8 goes into 74. I think 9 times 8 is 72. Put your decimal here. You have 2. Now if you're going with remainders, you now have 19 remainder 2. 8 goes into 20 twice. That's 16. Remainder 4. Bring down another 0. 8 goes into 40 5 times, and that's evenly. So 1.54, or 154 divided by 8, is 19.2. Hope you have a great day. I hope this recorded all right for you, and we'll talk to you later.